See me?
Here you are. We made it.
We're live.
We are. We're
We're
back.
live. Took us a minute to remember how to use Zoom. Well, we're back on Zoom. We'll call it special permission.
Yes.
Nobody say anything, okay? Yeah, special permission. So since we're getting back on Zoom here, I thought I'd get a nice haircut for you.
Yeah,
Okay?
looking
Special occasion. Nice coupe cheveux, as they call it.
Yeah, you got little flipper. Looking
Yeah,
good. Looking
call
sharp.
that my taint. Usually I have a minute here to get myself together. I'm
Get your
looking the wrong,
bearings.
yeah,
You're
I'm
looking
looking
the
the wrong
wrong
way
camera.
because my camera is on like the wrong angle here. But yeah, so super excited to be back on Zoom. It'll be access to a lot more people, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, busy week.
Yeah, it was a busy week. Even it was a short trading week this week. You know, I feel like the 4th of July was 100 years ago, but that was Monday. That was
Yes, that's right.
holiday
It was
Monday.
a short week.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess were the markets busy then because of that, or they were kind of quiet because of that?
Yeah, so Tuesday actually limped in, pretty boring trading day. Wednesday was a little bit more active, but volumes were still down about 20%. And then yesterday was a pretty risk off day, kind of one of the first we've seen in maybe 6 months, where you actually had kind of every asset class with the exception of bonds and the US dollar going up, or sorry, going down yesterday. So yesterday was a lot of selling. And I think it was at least the near term rally in bonds. We'd seen a couple of weeks there where we started to see yields moving down. I think I mentioned a couple of times about that. So yesterday it seems like bonds got overbought and stocks got oversold. And then of course today, if you looked at the markets today, we saw a reversal of that, and a lot of those conditions changed and bonds were sold and stocks were bought. So pretty good move in markets today.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we get started here, obviously a little bit different. So I believe the Q&A for everybody is on the bottom now.
Mm-hmm.
So you can raise your hand and then we can allow you to ask a question via audio if you want, or I think we can even do video if we need to. Or you can type one into the Q&A or the chat if you want as well. We'll monitor that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Ben, I don't know if I have access to that. We're gonna have to switch it up for next week, but you're gonna have to just monitor that as well for today.
Keep an eye. Okay, sounds good.
I have to figure out how to go. Okay, perfect. So what did we do on this shortened week?
Yeah, so I think the last couple of weeks of activity has slowed down a bit from a changing of the portfolio perspective, and I've been more in kind of a wait and see. I had added back some of those longer dated bonds, so EDV, which is extended duration Vanguard, so that's like the 30-year plus US Treasury. So I had added that back and actually sold that position yesterday on that rally. It had moved about 8% since I bought it, which is a pretty big move for bonds, and reallocated that capital to Freeport-McMoRan, Coeur d'Alene, and Hecla, which are 2 silvers and a copper. But generally it was a pretty quiet week. I think we're still in that kind of phase where we're starting to see us heading towards growth slowing, inflation slowing. Started to see a couple of signals. That bond market is telling us that there's some potential downside for equities ahead, but I don't think we're quite there yet. So I've been more in that let's wait, not try to get too cute. We're in kind of the end of this current move and in a bit of a transition phase. So instead of trying to over trade it right now, I've been sitting in that position waiting because some of these stocks that we own are good, high quality. I think that I'd like to consolidate some of the things that we have, like designer brands and some of the consumer discretionary that we've owned, the Container Store, things like that. I do want to get out of these positions sometime in the next couple of weeks, but been waiting patiently for the opportunity to switch that. And so been more cautious than anything, trying to wait and be patient. We've also seen the US dollar start to gain some strength here. And that also is what I expect to happen in the back half. And I don't know if I've said this or not, but I know we did our semi-annual recording last night. We had a discussion which will come out hopefully next week. Sometime, hopefully. And so I said kind of the potential downside I see in equities ahead is, kind of that 10 to 20% downside in the S&P. So with that, a lot of the holdings that we have are really trying to position for that potential downside. And, I think we talked a couple of weeks ago when I bought S&P puts. So those have traded quite well, where the market was up today, the puts didn't move much. So that's a good sign. So positioning continues to be very important, but I think we're in that kind of that end phase of this current move up. But we're not quite there as a result of that, trying not to overtrade.
Right. Yeah, we did that semi-annual yesterday. I thought it was very interesting. It's crazy how quickly the time goes and how much we've actually done in 6 months, right? It's one of those situations where you can't believe it's only been 6 months, but it feels like, so much longer, so much shorter as well, right? So it's we kind of review all those things, what's been going on, what's been done in the portfolios, and we kind of what the vision is for, the next 6 months. And we kind of talk a little bit about too what we have coming up, from a customer service side, from a branding side, from a content side, and things that you guys have been asking for that we're going to add as well. So it's worth it. And yes, we're crossing our fingers. Our editor can get caught up with things and put that on the front burner for sure.
Right.
I asked them today, by the way.
Okay, great.
So
Great.
yeah. So is that it for last week? Do you have kind of
Yeah.
a view on what's coming up for next week?
Yes, I'd say that's it. Again, the syndicate or the new issue front for either bonds or stocks, pretty quiet last week. We'd had a flurry of activity in June and then really slowed down, not much going on. I only think I saw one bond raise this week by energy company in Canada. Pretty quiet week from that perspective. Yeah, I think next week is what we continue to look at. Obviously, over the weekend, there's always lots of reading to do. Both Hedgeye and Darius Dale, a couple of macro guys that I follow, they always put out Saturday morning weekly updates on what happened, what they saw in the data and the numbers. So I always go through those on Saturday morning to get a sense for what I see happening next week. But Darius put out a 160-page deck this week that I looked through, kind of economic forecast on all the countries in the world. So that was interesting. May have some more info as I digest that a little bit. But next week is more of the same. Let's see how this plays out. I know we haven't talked about crypto too much in the past couple of weeks, but I think we've seen a pretty solid base forming there. We've seen Bitcoin kind of settle around that $30,000 to $35,000 range. That's a pretty good support level. So continue to watch that. Ethereum continues to move a little bit closer towards their kind of proof of stake, which is kind of a change to what they have right now. And so that continues to evolve, and we follow that story. There's a few others that are gaining more attention and traction, like Cardano, that we're following. So that continues to be research behind the scenes that we're doing, and also looking at how I expect this to set up for the next 6 months. But really good support at these levels, and that's great to see.
Sure. No questions yet. Don't be afraid to raise your hand or throw one in the chat or the Q&A. We're certainly monitoring that. I just opened up my my news feed here for the first time today. I was kind of busy today, so I'm gonna just rattle off a few of these things and get your reaction to them.
Sure.
Ben, did you know that
Mhm.
the Dow jumped 440 points to a record today,
Yeah,
rebounding from a one-day slide? Did you know that?
yeah, yeah, I did see that,
Okay,
yes.
wow, good for you. I was testing you, testing you. You
I
passed.
see, I passed.
What's the deal with that?
Yeah, so the Dow, typically what happens in this kind of phase is you get these kind of late cycle, you get money starting to move to the higher qualities names. So obviously the Dow is the top 30 companies in the United States.
Mhm.
So you're kind of moved up the quality chain from that perspective. But it's definitely a bit of a changing environment here. So you've seen some money move towards that. Small caps have struggled a little bit. So that's some of the money's been flowing into the Dow. And so that would make sense with the bonds selling off today. More money flowed into the Dow than the NASDAQ would have.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, another one. HSBC says rebalance your portfolio now as the economy enters expansion. Do we agree? Do we agree with that?
If that story was 6 months ago, yes.
Well, yeah, it is. Generic news item. So yeah, they're probably
No, so
behind their research.
yeah, no, I mean, I think that these economists tend to put out this kind of information when it's late cycle. So yeah, no, I definitely don't agree with that. Obviously, I mean, I spent some time at HSBC. Some of the research is fantastic and probably the most global presence of any that I've ever read. But I think that's just flat out wrong.
Okay. Want to do one more?
Well, yeah, sure, sure.
Okay. Or did you have more on that?
Well, no, one of the things that I put in my daily this week, or today, which I thought was really interesting, was Wells Fargo has said they're going to leave the line of credit business. So they're going to call in all their loans, all the lines of credit that they have outstanding, which I thought was very strange. I don't know what and how they expect it to do that. I guess their hope is that they're going to roll everybody into loans. But line of credit business is quite lucrative. So maybe their balance sheet isn't as strong as maybe they thought it was. So that was a pretty surprising report I saw.
Mhm.
Yeah. You can give me something else. Let's go.
Okay, one more. Treasury yields bounce, easing worries about a global economic shutdown. Slow down, not shut down. Big difference.
Yeah, so I listened to Neil Howe today talk about this Delta variant. So everyone seems, I guess, in the general media to be concerned about the Delta variant. Yeah, I guess it's a little bit more contagious than the dogs have decided to make a return to the podcast, to the roundup.
They're excited about Zoom too.
Yeah,
They can actually get on now.
yeah, exactly. So I think if you look at it, certainly it's more contagious, but it seems like it's contained, and most of the most of how it's been playing out seems to be contained. If you look at the statistics coming out of the UK, it looks like we're peaked or peaking. Maybe not after the Euro this weekend, but it looks like we're peaking. So I think that the concern's a bit overblown, and so I think that to your point, I don't think that treasury yields are we've already seen it come off the high. We're down about 20% from those highs. So the bond market is still saying that the markets are going to go down sometime in the next quarter or two. So the bond market's always kind of been that trade of truth, like Raul says, and I would agree with that. So with that set up, bond market tends to lead equities by 3 to 6 months. And so we topped out in March of this year. And so I'd say we're kind of the clock is ticking.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Still no questions. Did you
Doesn't seem
have anything else that you wanted to talk about today?
I don't think so. I mean, I think we went into pretty good detail last night talking about kind of the longer, bigger term picture.
Mhm.
So that'll be worth a look for anyone that wants to dive in a bit more in the thinking. But I think as we look back, there was a couple of things that surprised me this year. But I think in the second half, I'm quite I continue to look at the economic number. It's pointing exactly to what I'm saying is slowing growth and slowing inflation. With that backdrop, you want to have some exposure to gold and bonds and US dollar and have some puts for protection, because I think it's going to present a great opportunity. Because on the back half of that, I expect the central banks to jump in and push things and asset prices go higher. So I think we have a great chance to be prepared, but also take advantage of some lower prices in the next quarter.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then one important thing we didn't talk about, well, it's kind of a sore spot, is Tampa Bay Lightning winning the Stanley Cup this week. I mean, it
Well,
was the right result. Wrong team, right result.
yeah, I think so. It was looked like a junior team playing an NHL team.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it looked like. Yeah. So, oh well, it was a good run for Montreal. I was rooting for them, but for once, the only time I did that since Patrick Waugh, 1990. What was it?
93. Yeah.
93.
Yeah.
You're a big Habs fan, aren't you? You were?
Yeah, I grew up
Right
a
now?
big Habs fan. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Now a big Sens fan.
well, yeah, you gotta support home crowd.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm loyal to the home crowd, and my kids and a lot of their friends are not. They're like, my older son likes the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. I don't know why. It makes no
Yeah.
sense to me.
Yeah.
No loyalty in these kids these days, eh? What the heck?
It's true. Oh, got a question here.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kucherov
Kucherov with
interview.
the shirtless with the chugging the beer and clapping for the Habs fans.
Yeah, that was a bit. I've never seen anybody like. He seemed like he was drunk. I mean, he still had his gear on. How many beers can you have in that amount of time, right? But who knows? Apparently, he was on pain meds too for this is what they're saying, right? He's on pain meds for his ribs because he didn't miss a game there with a sore rib or something. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever. Okay, that's it.
And Lyle had a comment about the tennis players, Shapovalov and Felix.
Oh yeah, that's good too.
Yeah, did you follow much of that? The
I
Wimbledon?
haven't.
Yes.
Maybe this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we on to the final rounds this weekend?
We are. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. So yeah, I'll try to catch some this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And World Cup is on too, right? Italy,
Italy,
Spain.
Yep.
Jeez.
So
just hunker down and watch sports all weekend.
Italy, England, and of course the Tour de France is on. So
that's it. I'm mailing it in. Somebody write a note to my wife for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Listen, I think that's good. I think we had a good update.
Great. Okay, everybody. Well, hopefully we're back on this platform permanently now, so it's definitely more user friendly for everybody. You'll be able to watch the videos, recaps, and obviously it's much better live as well. So you can get both of us on the screen at the same time, and it's much more interactive. So we're hoping to stick with this, but we will see.
Looks like we have Donna's got her hand up, so I'm just wondering if she's got a question here. Let's just see here.
Give her.
Oh, let's just see. Let's ask her to unmute here. Donna, I just clicked on asking you to unmute, so I don't know if you got that.
I'm hoping it's mostly a comment about my hairstyle.
Hey, Donna. Hey, Donna, how's it going?
Oh, man.
Did you have a question for us? No, okay.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Just wanted to know, I got an email about Visa crypto.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
When is it time to get that?
Yeah, so it's a good question. I mean, Visa and Coinbase have a partnership, so they're allowing you to transact in Bitcoin and purchase, buy and sell things in Bitcoin. I think it is still evolving, and it's worth looking at in more detail. And I'll come back to you maybe with a direct comment on it. But super interesting to see them going down that route. And that I know they've said they're not keeping the crypto on the balance sheet right now, but certainly the partnership with Coinbase is very interesting and worth looking at.
Thank you, Ben.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, that was good, actually. I meant to talk about that today, so that was good. Great question.
Yep.
Okay, well, everybody have their Friday afternoon cocktail on the patio. Is it nice out? I don't know. I've been in the basement all day. Ben's got the nice window there behind him. Is it nice
Yeah.
out, Ben?
No, it's kind of it's been overcast most of the day, so it's been
Okay.
been okay day. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, you can still go have that cocktail anyway.
Exactly.
All right, everybody. See you next week.
Sounds good. Take care.
Bye.